I remember when buying a budget phone meant you had to accept terrible screens, a camera that looks like a potato, and micro USB charger. But we are in the late 2025 and that era is officially over. I have pulled together a list of the best budget smartphones you can get right here in Ghana and anywhere in Africa. I have sorted this from the absolute cheapest entry-level kings all the way up to the premium mid-ranges. And honestly, the fact that you are going to be seeing 120Hz screens and up to 6 years worth of software updates on these phones is kind of mind-blowing. All the prices mentioned on this list are approximate, and so you should get the phone at exactly that price or a little bit over or under that price. All the links to the exact listings in this video will be placed right in the description for you guys. So without further ado, let's get through the specs. We are kicking off with the absolute most affordable option on this list, the Itel City 100. This is for anyone who needs a phone that just works without any drama. It's rocking a 6.7-inch IPS LCD and surprisingly, it's a 90Hz panel. Under the hood, you have a Unisoc T7250 processor, 128GB of storage, and a 4GB of RAM. Itel has now moved to a cleaner pure Android 14 interface, so it is not bogged down by beltways. You also get a 5200 mAh battery with 18W charging. It's not a high-spec phone or a gaming phone, but for WhatsApp and calls, this phone at this price is unbeatable. The Itel City 100 will cost you 1145 Ghana cedis. Next up, the Infinix Smart 10 Plus. Infinix usually position their Smart series as their battery champion for the entry level. You are looking at a similar 720p display, but the battery here is the main character. It likely packs that massive 6000 mAh cell that the Smart series is known for. If you work long hours or you are constantly on the road and you don't like using a power bank, this phone is the perfect phone for you because it almost lasts more than a day every single time. The Infinix Smart 10 Plus will cost you 1140 cedis. These next phones are what I call the value kings. Speaking of great value, you know what has an infinite price to performance ratio? The subscribe button. It literally costs 0 cedis, but it helps the channel a ton. So click on the subscribe button and let's get into the premium stuff. The first one in the value king section is the Tecno Pop 10. And yes, I can boldly tell you that iPhone got their inspiration from Tecno, not the other way around. So if you have been saying that, let's be clear. The Pop series used to be the bare bones, but this year Tecno gave it a major glow up. We finally have a 6.67-inch 120Hz screen in the Pop series. Yes, 120Hz on a Pop. And you are telling me they copied Apple? Damn, the iPhone 16 didn't even have a 120Hz screen. It's running a Unisoc T7250, a 64GB or 128GB storage, and a 5000 mAh battery. You might not get the iPhone 16 or 17 flagship over here, but the smoothness of this phone is the selling point. If you prefer something cheap and classy, the Tecno Pop 10 is for you. The Tecno Pop 10 will cost you 1100 cedis. Then there is the Infinix Hot 60i. This is the direct competitor for the Tecno Pop 10, but with a little bit more focus on performance. It steps up to the Dimensity 6300 chipset in the 5G version or the Helio G series for the 4G, meaning it handles multitasking better. You get a 6.75-inch 120Hz display and a 50-megapixel main camera. It also keeps the headphone jack and the expandable storage, something I know you guys will still really appreciate in 2025. The Infinix Hot 60i will cost you around 1300 to 1500 Ghana cedis. The next phone in line is something I think most of you might have been waiting to hear, and that is the Tecno Spark 40. It features a MediaTek Helio G81 processor and a 50-megapixel main shooter. You get up to 45W fast charging in the box. Most phones at this price are usually stuck at 18W charging, but the mere fact that you can charge your phone fully in an hour is a huge luxury in the budget section. Tecno Spark 40 will cost you around 1350 Ghana cedis to 1600 Ghana cedis. Now the wild card, the Redmi 15C. Redmi always comes up with good phones, especially their flagship are always good. But they also have something for the budget people, and that's the Redmi 15C. Xiaomi went huge this year like they normally do every year, literally. This phone has a massive 6.9-inch 120Hz display. It's almost a tablet. It's powered by Dimensity 6300 and has a 6000 mAh battery to power that big screen. And it also supports a 33W charging. If you love watching YouTube, TikTok and any other content, you would love this phone because of its huge screen and it's also fast charging. The Redmi 15C will cost you 1,300 Ghana cedis to 1,600 Ghana cedis. Next is the Itel S25 Ultra. Yes, you heard that right. Not Samsung S25 Ultra, the Itel S25 Ultra. Itel literally gives budgets for everything. It has a capped AMOLED display which looks incredibly modern. Under the hood, it's using a Unisoc T620 chip, 256GB of storage and 8GB of RAM. Intel is prioritizing style and storage here. It looks like a flagship phone from the front, even if the processor is still an entry level. The Itel S25 Ultra will cost you around 1,800 Ghana cedis to 1,950 Ghana cedis. The Samsung A07. And I have to give Samsung the credit here. They changed the game with the software updates. You get a 6.7-inch 90Hz LCD and a Helio G99 processor. Samsung is promising 6 years of OS updates, a budget phone that will still be getting updates in 2031. That's unheard of. If you want to buy a phone and keep it for 5 years, this is the only logical choice. But honestly, I also don't think you should keep a budget phone for 5 years because it's going to look really worn out by the end of that 5 years. But it can also take that 5 years if you want it to. The Samsung Galaxy A07 will cost you 1,049 cedis. Stepping up to the Galaxy A16, this is where you start getting features that feel really properly premium. Panel. The screen upgrades to a Super AMOLED panel. The blacks are inky deep, colors pop. It destroyed the LCD on the other phones we've listed. It's also IP54 rated, which means it is dust and water resistant to some level, and runs on the Exynos 1330 or Dimensity 6300 depending on your region. It's the best display so far on this list, and I think you should probably get it if it is in your price range. The Samsung Galaxy A16 will cost you 1,700 Ghana cedis to 1,850 Ghana cedis. So if you have as low as 1,100 cedis, you can get a phone on this list. Even if you have more than that, you can also get a phone on this list. And that's because I made this list so flexible for every budget phone you can get that is totally useful to you and won't be a waste of money. Compile the list and they will be down in the description below. And so if you love this kind of videos, you would also love the video of me explaining what all Intel CPUs are about right here.